morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody, and welcome to another Good Morning Grief devotional. It's your boy, Pastor Corey Allen Duncan Sr., and I'm so happy and excited to be here with you on today to lead you in a very special way in yet another grief devotional. This is the daily grief devotional that is strategically designed to help you to navigate through your grief one day at a time. What is grief? I'm so glad you asked. Grief, my brothers and sisters, it is the natural and normal response to loss, change, and transition that results in the expressions of feelings and emotions. Grief is what you feel on the inside. Mourning is how you express it on the outside. Therefore, we don't suppress it, but we express it. We don't ignore it, but we explore it. We don't conceal it, but we reveal it. We don't lock it up, but we let it out. And that's why we shout good morning, because morning is a good thing. I want to say good morning. I want to say welcome. I want to say thank you for joining us on today in a very special way as we lead you in yet another devotion. This one is good indeed on today. Our grief quote simply says, let me go before that. Make sure you like, share. Make sure you like, share this devotion. If it's a blessing to you, it's going to be a blessing for somebody else. So make sure you tag somebody in this post. Make sure you let them know if you know that there's somebody that's grieving, somebody that's mourning, somebody that's dealing with the loss, change, and transition of anything, and particularly the death of a loved one. Make sure you share this so that it can be a blessing to them as well. And good morning to everybody that has turned in, tapped in, and tuned in to the devotion. Miss Felicia Henderson, Miss Mama Duncan, Facebook user Nikisha Foss, Willette McCants, Sister Linda Hall, LG Nalomes, I believe, Carmen Kennedy, and Jail Ben. Thank y'all so very much for tuning in, and everybody else who may not have typed anything in the chat. Make sure y'all share. Let's get to it, y'all. Today's grief quote comes from Ray Bradbury, who says, "Everyone must leave something behind when he or she dies." My grandfather said, "A child or a book or a painting or a house or a wall built or a pair of shoes made or a garden planted, something your hand touched some way so your soul has somewhere to go when you die. And when people look at that tree or that flower you planted, you're there." Ooh. Let me read that again. Everyone must leave something behind when he dies, my grandfather said. A child or a book or a painting or a house or a wall built or a pair of shoes made, a garden planted, something your hand touched some way so your soul has somewhere to go when you die. And when people look at that tree or that flower you planted, guess what? You're there. Y'all, today is day 339. I want to talk about they're there, right? They are there. They're there or they are there. Let's talk about it. It's a good devotion today. Our loved ones who died devoted time and energy to various passions. They made, collected, or nurtured things, objects, hobbies, places, relationships with pets, and people. Wherever they laid their hands with love, those places are sacred. Let me say it again. Our loved ones who died devoted time and energy to various passions. What were the passions that your loved one devoted time and energy to? What were the passions that your loved ones devoted time and energy to? They made, collected, nurtured things, right? What did your loved one make or collect or nurture, right? When you look at the loved one that is transitioned, what did they make? What did they create? What did they nurture? Collect, what did they nurture? They nurture things, objects, hobbies, places, relationships with pets, and people. Who did they talk to? Where did they go? What were the places they hung out at? What were the things they did? What were the hobbies they participated in? What were the things that your loved one did, right? Go back. Let me ask you again. What were the things they devoted their time and energy to? What were the passions your loved one devoted time and energy to? What did they make? What did they collect? What did they nurture? Who were the people? What were the places? What were the things? What were the hobbies? What were the passions? What were the things that your loved one did, right? Because wherever they laid their hands with love, those places are sacred, right? they can have a favorite restaurant, and it could be 30 restaurants on that street, on that block, but their favorite one or the one that they went to, it seems like it makes that place sacred, right? They could have a favorite hobby or a passion or a store they love to shop at, and it could be 1,000 stores in that area because they went to that one. It makes that one seem sacred. They could have passions and desires and various things, and it's the ones that they frequented or the ones that were near and dear to their heart or the things that they did, right? For some reason, it makes those things sacred. He says, after my father died, I placed photos of him in a place where I could see them often. I surrounded the photos with things that connected me to him, such as his tennis racket and favorite baseball cap. These are, I forgot what we called them. We had a lesson, connecting objects. I think it was something like that. What are the connecting objects that you have that connect you to the loved one that died? For him, for this author, it was a tennis racket and a baseball cap. But what are the linking objects? That's what it was. Linking objects. What are those linking objects, right, that connect you to the loved one that died, right? Your mother, your father, your son, your daughter, your brother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle, your grandmother, your grandfather, your grandson, your grandchild, your your husband, your wife. What are the linking objects that connect you to them, that you feel connected when you have these linking objects, right? He says, this became a sacred place where I could stop and mourn and remember and share my memories with others and heal. Y'all hear that? That he surrounded, he placed photos of his father in a place where he could see them often. He surrounded the photos with things that connected him to him, his tennis racket, his baseball cap, right? It became a sacred place where he could stop and mourn and remember and share the memories with others and heal. Do you have a place like that in your house? Do you have a bookshelf, or do you have something where you have pictures of the loved one that died along with those linking objects, right? Maybe it's a ring, maybe it's a tennis racket, maybe it's a baseball cap, maybe it's a football, maybe it's a sweater or a scarf, or it's some type of object that links you to them. Have you set that up? This is it's important because he says it became a sacred place, right? Sacred place where he could do what? Stop, mourn, remember, share memories with others, and heal. Grief is what you feel on the inside. Mourning is what you express on the outside. This is an act of mourning. When you build or you put something in place that uh, daily or whenever you can stop, you can mourn, you can remember, you can share, you can feel, you can reveal. This is part of the process, y'all. This is what I mean when I say be practical, portable, and applicable. How do you express outwardly what you feel inwardly? This is a great way for you to put this in place and express outwardly what you feel inwardly. It's a great thing that helps you remember. It helps you to share. It helps you to express outside of yourself what you feel on the inside of yourself, right? So he puts that in place. And ultimately, it helps him to heal. The concept of psychometry holds that people leave behind vibrational imprints on objects they've touched or places they've lived. The concept of psychometry holds that people leave behind vibrational imprints on objects they've touched or places they've lived. Oh, this is so good just to consider. People leave behind vibrational imprint. There are things that your loved one touched, right? That it feels like they're there, right? They're there. It feels like they have their vibrational imprints. Their imprint is there, right? Followers believe that touching or holding these objects or spending time in these places allows us to connect with those who have died, not just through memory, but in a more physical, literal way. Going to the places they went to, touching the objects, My father died in 2011. I launched my church in 2015. When I launched the church, and we're a casual church, you know, we wore t-shirts and jeans, but I wanted to wear a pair of my father's shoes. And so you can see him in pictures. I got a pair of his little brown little loafer shoes because, and I thank the author for putting it in an articulate form. It's like a vibrational imprint. I felt as if he was there, right? That's why we said there. I felt like I was standing in his shoes. The day I launched my church, since he couldn't be there physically, he was there. I was standing in his shoes. My my best friend died in 2000 and is it 18, 17, 17, 18, 17. Um 17? Yep, 17. Yep, because it was 5, 4, 3, 6 years. He died in 2017. When we marched in our new building in 2019, I wore his he had a suit jacket. He had this suit jacket that I used to make fun of him in. He was an educator and it looked like a little professor suit jacket and had the arm patches on there. And I used to tease him all the time. And so when he died, his wife gave it to me. And that Sunday when we marched in the building, I wanted to wear his jacket. I felt like he was covering me. He helped me launch the church. He was there for me. He was my boy. I wanted him to cover me. I wanted him to be with me. It's like it was a vibrational imprint. Like he was there, right? The question becomes, what linking objects did your loved one leave you, or do you have of your loved one, right? And not just the linking objects, but what places did they go? My father died. It was 12 years ago this past Sunday. And before that, I wasn't a big coffee drinker. My father was. And after he died, I found myself enjoying a cup of coffee. And this is what it was. It was really a linking object. I felt like when I enjoy this cup of coffee, it's linking me to him, and the fact that they're there, he's there. It's an opportunity for us to bond, to share, for me to indulge in something that I know he loved and something that he did, right? Is linking objects. It's you got to ask yourself, what is it, right? What is it? What is it? What is that linking object? What is it? What's that place that they go to? What was that place? What was that hobby? What was that object? What was that thing that they did that you can now do that makes you feel connected to them, right? Yeah, this is Mourning in Motion. I want to help y'all. This is Mourning in Motion. Mourning requires motion. And when you put yourself in a position to connect, right, with these objects, these passions, these things that your loved one once did, these places, is as if it helps you to navigate through the mourning process, right? He says, I know that when I wear my father's watch, guess what? I feel my father's presence. Mm. Here's the final thought. Today I will touch something my loved one cherished or spend time in a place where a part of their soul still resides. Today I will touch something my loved one cherished or spend time in a place where part of their soul still resides. What can you touch that your loved one shares? Or where can you spend time? What place can you spend time where you know the part of their soul, it seems like it still resides there because it was so instrumental in the midst of their life. Today, my brothers and sisters, is day 339. This message is right on time. They're there. Y'all put it in the chat for me if you want to share what that object may be, what that place may be, what that passion may be, what that object may be, what that hobby may be, whatever it is. Put it in the chat for me if you so desire. One time for the one time. One time for the one time. Nakisha, my mom's pots and pans. I was blessed with her cooking apron and wear it when I need to feel close to her while cooking. Perfect example, right? You in the kitchen, wrist twisted like a stir fry, and you feel like I'm close to her when I'm in the midst of this moment. That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Good morning, Blanca. Felicia Henderson says, I got my husband cremation and I have his picture in front of it and I have his Vietnam pen. That's beautiful. I love it. I love it. Miss Linda says, I have my mother's ashes in my front room. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Anybody else? What is that linking object? What is that place? What is that place? What is that thing? My husband's favorite thing was working in the church as a deacon, and he used to do prayer early in the morning for the whole church. So he did a lot of things, cooking. That's awesome. Yeah, and those things keep you connected. Those things make you feel at one. Those things make you feel apart, right? My son loved music and introduced me to so many great old folk songs. I feel his presence in music. Yes. Music, I was going to say that's another good one. My father loved jazz, right? And old school gospel. And so, yeah, I feel like I'm getting, yeah, when I put that jazz on, it makes me feel connected. Deshaun's favorite book he loved to read. Yes, losing yourself in a book. Like, what is that favorite book that they would love to read, or whatever the case may be? So when you pick it up and read it, and you may have read it 20 or 30 or 40 times, it just makes you feel connected, right? It's a linking object. The places they went. I wear my husband's cross or some of his jewelry. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing, Shirley. Miss Shirley. Some of his jewelry, and it makes you feel connected, makes you feel their presence. That's part of the process, right? Part of the mourning process. Anybody else want to share? That's good. Cherry cheesecake. My sister cooks now every Thanksgiving. I still have my mom's car keys. Got her urn and white hat she wore when we took her to St. Elmo's on her 50th birthday. You see those type of things, those type of memories, man. Yes, it keeps you connected. It makes you feel like you link with them, right? That vibrational imprint. You feel like they're there, right? You feel their presence. It helps you. Hey, Rhonda, in my heart, I also cook their favorite meal or event that come to the land. Absolutely. That makes you feel connected. Like, what's that meal, right? What's their favorite event? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Why? Because it's part of the mourning process. It helps you to link. It helps you to connect. It helps you to feel what you need to feel. And these are all healthy forms of mourning. See, these are the things we can do. When you start talking about mourning in a healthy way, these are the healthy things we can do besides the other things. We do coping mechanisms because we don't want to feel nothing. Now, give yourself permission to feel. Build that place in your house. Put those picture up. Put those objects next to it. Walk by it and mourn and cry and remember and laugh and smile and rejoice. Feel what you need to feel, right? This is part of mourning in a meaningful way that you want to be able to dive into. This is good. This is good. Anybody else want to share? This is good. I appreciate y'all sharing. This is good. It's healthy. My mom's had dozens of study books. Hey, Valerie. Bible. She had a beautiful singing voice. Yes, that's beautiful. Beautiful. Diving in those books, reading those books, holding those books, right? And just relishing her voice. It's a beautiful thing. I cook mac and cheese and ham every holiday. My nephew's favorite now is his brother's favorite. He won't eat anything else. All right, mac and cheese and ham. Ain't that wonderful? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what we do, right? Those are the things that keep us connected. Those are the things that help us to mourn. Those are the things that help us to remember. Those are the things that helps us to navigate through this process where we feel connected, right? Where we feel connected. Beautiful. Man, I appreciate y'all sharing. Just know I'm rooting for y'all. It's December. I'm rooting for y'all as y'all navigate through this holiday season. We's gonna make it, right? We gonna make it. And I appreciate y'all, and I thank God for each and every one of y'all. I want y'all to hang on and hold on. We gonna get through this, y'all. I love y'all with the love of the Lord. Look forward to continuing to help y'all to navigate through this season of grief. I love y'all. Have a terrific Tuesday. Let's go.